Your weekly power-up of video game news, updates, and industry buzz. From blockbuster releases and indie gems to hardware drops, studio shakeups, and everything in between, we break it all down. This is Split Screen Gamers.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Split Screen Game. What's up, Chandler? What you doing, bro?
Nothing much, dude.
What?
Nothing much.
What, bro?
Dude, that's what's the name of that tribe in Star Wars in Tatooine that
I have no clue. You know, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. You know that.
Oh yeah, you're not. So I'm like, they're like Tusken Raiders. That's what they're called. That reminded me of a Tusken Raider.
Yes,
so
yes. Well, I have been told that I'm pretty tribal. You know, that people say that I'm from Africa. So,
oh my God.
I mean, you're the first, honestly, but people do say that. But yeah, dude. Now that we know Chandler's racist, let's move on to the first story. So okay, bro. On Monday, we're talking. When was this? It was August 11th in Rockville. Austin Sharman comes to see Elder Scrolls 6, and then the activist group 1BGS Is that an activist group?
I think so.
It's hard. I haven't done much research into them. Do you know?
I think they are, and I think they like pretty much like dictate whether or not like what to protest and whatnot. And like I think they are an organization that like will pick certain like situations or events where people have been let go, or like there was like, you know, food.
That makes sense.
Like yeah.
Okay, so on Monday, the CEO of Xbox, Asha Sharman, flew into Bethesda to watch the Elder Scrolls 6 run live. Outside the building, there were 800 red flags in the grass, one for every person that the company laid off. If you don't remember, we covered that Microsoft laid over a ton of employees earlier this year. And in addition to the 800 red flags, a giant inflatable rat. She posted about the game, which we'll talk about later. Asha Sharman posted about the game, but she did not address the rat or the flags. And so obviously the only part of the day that the internet decided to care about was the 8 asterisks in a tweet, which we'll cover later, about Elder Scrolls 6. So yeah, essentially it was a giant protest from what Chandler is saying is maybe like a group that picks particular things to protest on, but it's 1BGS-CWA, and they plant those 800 flags, one for every person. It's pretty much just essentially they're being like, yo, like don't forget these people you laid off. Dude, crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I was like doing like the format for our episode, I didn't realize it actually happened until like you told me about it. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty like dope. And like, it's also like a creative way to like protest. And I think they even gave the rat a name too. They gave the rat some kind of like cute name to go along with like the fact that it's a gigantic rat. And it's about a protest. I'm surprised they didn't like make like a gigantic, you know, elephant, because you know it's like elephant in the room essentially. Kind of like that.
Totally.
But
you know, I always go back
man?
whenever I see things like this. I always go back to that one comment about Asha Sharman that told pretty much Xbox employees that hard times were coming. Do you remember that?
I do.
I remember her saying
it was
that,
around.
Go ahead.
It was around when like they were announcing all these awesome things. The showcase.
It was like, weird. It's like I remember we talked about it. It was like the showcase was happening, and then all of a sudden like we had crazy bad news, and then they showed something good again, and then bad news. It was like this weird roller coaster that Xbox was doing earlier this year. And I truly think that was them just like trying to get ahead of the bad news cycle that was coming. But at the same time, like I think it's an actual tactic from these corporate companies to throw out a bunch of news and see what sticks. I mean, look, the hope is that, hey, we got a lot of bad news we got to announce. It's going to get out one way or another, and we want to get ahead of it. So let's throw out all the good news and all the bad news, and whatever takes the press the most is what wins. But I think their hope is that like the games and the positive things take the press. They just have to get it out, period. I think that's kind of just, it's a tactic that they have to do, unfortunately. And Asha Sharman, the fact that she gave a heads up was, I think, kind of cool. I still kind of like her. And, you know, they were talking about how she didn't even address the protest. Essentially, she went to go see the Elder Scrolls 6, and then she tweeted about it later on. And so the truth is, like all these things, she's new right now. She's not even been in there for a year, I don't believe. And if so, it's like close to a year. So like this is all new to her. She inherited a lot of this stuff. So I think she's handling it the best way she can. But the truth is, like, this is a situation where no one's going to be happy.
No. And it's interesting that she's doing it like right now in terms of like letting people go, because whenever she first came into power, everybody was like, "Oh no, she's gonna destroy Xbox. She's gonna get rid of all these studios, let all these people go." And she didn't do that at first. She pretty much had like a game plan about like how to like get Xbox to be number one, and then everybody was like, "Oh man, she actually proved me wrong." And then several months later, everything that everybody thought she was gonna do
Mm-hmm.
actually happened and stuff. And I was like, man, that's kind of like a reverse kind of like situation right there. But yeah, it's just interesting seeing the evolution of like her tenure and stuff for this company. So I wonder, because they're going through the bad right now.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to be after like the storm pass. I wonder how that's going to like affect them and stuff, because I know for id Software, like the CEO over there was saying like, yeah, this is like the lowest that morale has ever been. And they got rid of like almost, I want to say 75% of their staff. They're almost like a skeleton crew over there
Yeah.
now. So it's pretty bad. And the fact that like she didn't even acknowledge the rat outside kind of just tells me that she's trying to like divert away from like any kind of like decisions
100%.
that she had to make and stuff. So, but I mean, and also like what would you have like said as a CEO that had like literally fired so many people, like, and see that rat and like post about it? It's like, hey, look at like check out this
Chandler,
gigantic
it's
rat.
3,200 people cut off.
People, yeah,
Cut from Microsoft.
3,200
And
people.
Xbox, I think,
Yeah.
was just 1,800 or 800. That's why or Bethesda was 800, I believe, which is crazy because Bethesda is actually
Yeah.
one of the companies putting out
Huge.
good games and
Yeah.
games that really push the platform forward.
Yep.
And look, like it's weird to even have a take on this because the truth of the matter is like corporate companies do layoffs all the time. That doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not
No.
actually justifying it at all, but they do layoffs all the time. But it's like, is it right or is it wrong, or do we have a say so? Like, this is a company that has its own autonomy. They could do what they want. That's the thing that's really, really hard to, because I come from it from a humanitarian perspective, which is that 3,200 people lost their jobs. That's why the morale is as low as it is. Obviously, everyone doesn't know if their job is on the line. There's probably survivor's guilt within the companies from people that they loved and enjoyed and or doing creative ventures with.
Yeah, and survivor
gone.
guild is a crazy like term to use, because when you think survival guild, you think about like a life or death situation, but you're using it as like a corporate situation, which I find like it is true though. It is very true, like 100%.
Oh, so true. I mean, I would imagine that if I'm a developer or some sort of piece in the puzzle, gear in the system, developing games or working at Microsoft, and I have like a good group of people that I eat lunch with. Like, you got to think about the little things. You might not work with them directly, but you eat lunch with them. You talk games. You talk tech. Even if you work with them directly, it's even more impactful. You work with them directly. You're interfacing with them about certain design elements, systems, etc. You're getting excited about the next Elder Scrolls, doing all this, and you're chilling. You're working on some animation stuff that is on your desk for the day, and then all of a sudden you find out that the guy who you said you were going to go have lunch with later this week to talk about this and that, or like talk about a new business idea, or go play the Switch 2 at home with his family or her family, they're gone.
They're gone.
Like, guys,
They're
we're
out.
not talking about, this isn't like, I think like we have to remind ourselves the reason that this protest is happening is because people's jobs is one thing, but you're talking about people's purpose, their reason for living, the way that they provide for their families. People have friends and loved ones. I'm sure that there's people in that. I mean, there's so many people at Bethesda. I bet there's people in that company that are together romantically, whether it be marriage or just a relationship, and they were separated or they were both laid off. It's like, you got to understand, it's another layer to this, that like, it's not just money. People lost their money. It's like people lost their livelihood, their way of living. And so that's why they put 800 red flags that they're inflatable rats, because it's bad. It sucks. And on the other foot, Microsoft has autonomy over their own company and profits are low, not as much as they would like. Now, whether that's a subjective figure on what they would want, but the truth of the matter is they can do whatever they want,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I agree everything that you said, David. Like seriously. So, and like when you get rid of 32 people, you're actually affecting 32,000 different families
Yes,
too.
yes,
So
32 3,200. You're so right, dude. You're so right. And this is the fifth major layoff uh since the 70 billion Activision Blizzard deal in 2023. So like maybe there's some bad deals made along the way.
yeah,
That I would actually probably go out on a limb and not even go out on a limb. I'd actually probably say, yeah, Xbox has made some bad deals along the way. They've made some bad tech along the way. Their products have kind of flopped. They're getting smacked around by Nintendo and PlayStation and all these other and Steam and all this. They've made some bad decisions. I think that they're just treading water, trying to stay afloat in a lot of ways. I'm talking about Xbox specifically. Microsoft is definitely good. And here's the thing: AI presented with all this, they had a chance to come back and kind of show their hat, do this and that, and then AI came into the mix. And of course, Microsoft is going to be one of the ahead of some of the AI stuff because it's Microsoft. I mean, we're talking about the people who pioneered the computer. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so it's just
yeah,
what it is. So unfortunately, while I have to say I respect the protest and I think that it's necessary, I don't think it's going to do much. I don't. Asha Sharma is not going to address this. She already addressed it earlier this year. She said hard times are ahead. She said it. That happened. It was either earlier this year or last year. I can't remember. My brain is mixed up. But it's just like
no, you're good.
she already addressed it. The unfortunate truth is that they will not be making any. They're not going to go hire 3,200 people. Like to make a decision like that is already crazy. For them to make a decision to hire them back is even crazier. So I don't know what we expect to get out of this, other than setting a morale around what we believe is right and wrong. All right. In positive news, the embargo has been lifted off of Wolverine, and people have their opinions on Wolverine and Spider-Man and Insomniac's approach to it, etc. Essentially, people are picky now and demand everything to be revolutionary, and that's just my opinion. But embargo lifted August 13th, 1 month from September 15th. PS5 launch for the Wolverine game, 2-hour hands-on sessions. Consensus is that it's brutal, faithful, very good, but not the leap that Spider-Man 2018 was. So essentially, people got to play the game, and people just, they said it's good, but not what Spider-Man 2018 was. And I have an opinion on that because I am a big fan of the Spider-Man game. But Chandler, what are your thoughts?
Dude, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I still relive Spider-Man 2018, dude. I still think about that game because of how good it was and everything, and how, excuse me, and how like the web swinging was
So
so
good.
awesome in that game.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was so great. And then I got to Spider-Man like Miles Morales, and they even improved on that with like his character and stuff. And then I played Spider-Man 2, and it was improved even more and whatnot. And it's just like what a franchise right there. But they're going into Wolverine now, and Wolverine isn't Spider-Man. Obviously he has claws, he has like regeneration. I mean, he has like all these other
it's different.
abilities that like that Spider-Man does. So you are gonna get like a different experience out of this. You are gonna get like a different character to play as, and it's not gonna be as, I guess, traversal as Spider-Man, because I don't think this game's open world. I mean, for starters, this game is definitely it is seeming like it is a linear experience where you go to like different levels and stuff, kind of like
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Exactly.
So it is an open world, and that's what Spider-Man was an open world game too. So
Well, it's like
which
Spider-Man
was
must be an open world game. I mean, he's the
yeah,
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He stops everything from large crime to petty crime being his kind of specialty. And so the or small guys, you know what I mean, rather. So look,
yeah,
I actually agree with you for the most part, which is I agree with you on the aspect that they're two different heroes. Spider-Man is a web slinging, crazy aerobatic superhero that services New York, right? Wolverine is a different type of hero. He's more grounded.
He's a drifter.
He kills, etc. Like he doesn't like Wolverine is the guy who will he's like the superhero version of the Punisher, for example. And so the thing is, I actually loved it. I'm going to preface by I loved Spider-Man 2018. Absolutely loved it. Did it innovate? Is the question. People are like, it didn't innovate as much as 2018 did. That's what they're saying about Wolverine, right? I have a hot take. I actually don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a look into the Spider-Man 2018 that people often ignore, which is that in a lot of ways it did innovate. The web slinging was great. The flow of Spider-Man was great. But I'll tell you one thing. Even though I'm in love with that game and I will continue to play it, and I think all the iterations after that were great, Spider-Man 2018 was the Arkham trilogy, or the Arkham series by Batman in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways, Arkham was better. The fighting style, very much hands down. I mean, look, we're talking about Batman, so it's different in terms of just fighting. So don't take it as like, yo, they were fighting the same. No, they weren't. Like, obviously, Batman was fighting like Batman, and Spider-Man's a whole different character. But the fighting style is like almost exact copy. And Arkham did it.
I have noticed that
it's the same. It's essentially the same. Like, it's the same. You throw a bunch of thugs, and you have these quick action, not really quick action, but just like, yeah, kind of quick action, but also you have this kind of D-pad to go fight this guy, and then like you have, was that my chair that squeaked, or was that a horn that was being blown? I have no clue. But anyways, it is essentially just the same. And Batman, I would say, arguably did a lot of things better that Spider-Man didn't. Where I think Spider-Man 2018 was lacking was no one ever talks about that Peter Parker. Like, that story is good because Spider-Man's world is good, but that Peter Parker and like the acting and some of that is actually really bad. Like, in my opinion.
You think so?
I agree.
Really?
I 100%. I 100% think so. Compared to compared to what? Like, first of all, I'll say Miles Morales is corny. Like, he's like extremely corny. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of his voice in that game. I like the game. That's the thing. I like when I'm playing as Spider-Man. But whenever I have to like see Miles Morales or see Peter Parker, I'm like, okay, like this is this 2018, even just the way that his face looks is like, I was like, this is terrible. Like, and that's just my opinion.
I agree with that. Like, his model design was terrible in 2018. It was awful. I'll say this. I didn't really like Mary Jane's design in in the second Spider-Man game. All
right, Chandler. Not everybody can be like super busty, curvy. Like,
I'm
just saying. Chandler wants everybody to look like the lady from Resident Evil Village, bro. Like, not everyone looks like that, bro.
No. It's just like they gave her like a bigger chin. It was weird. It was like they gave her like a bigger chin. Like, her facial structure was changed, but like in like 2018, like it had like a nice like facial structure. I'm talking about the face. I think
they're setting her up to be Kingpin.
Oh my god.
I think I heard that.
Could you fucking imagine, dog?
After she became that Venom iteration in the last game, she becomes freaking Kingpin in the next. Like, they keep making Mary Jane the some sort of villain iteration. She becomes she grows a tail and becomes Scorpion.
Scorpion. It's like, I'm after you, Spider-Man.
Stinger. It's like, dang, bro, Mary Jane,
this is for breaking up with me.
Yeah, dude, that was. Anyways, I would say that people are just being picky, man. Like, 2018 was awesome, bro, but Wolverine's a different character. Like, let's keep it a buck. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I truly think that the fact of the matter is that people are going to be picky. Wolverine's going to be great. Insomniac has a style, and it's going to stick to that style. It just has a different hero. It's different abilities. It's healing factor, like you said, healing factor, blades, etc. Like, so I personally think that they're being a little picky. Everyone wants I will say every game that comes out, people want them to reinvent the wheel. But then when they reinvent the wheel, they don't like the game. Like, because games are fun to make. Games are fun because you follow a certain system around what makes it fun.
Yeah. You know what's hard about breaking the wheel, it's hard to break the wheel. Like that's the thing. Like people are always like wanting to like figure out ways to like break the wheel, but like half of the times like it's not really successful. So you have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to break the wheel and stuff because it is so hard to break that wheel because you heard about like the story about how like all stories come from 7 different stories
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're just like
Nothing's
different
new.
and every other like story is like a different like variation of one of those 7 stories. Same thing with game design. Honestly, it's like a variation of like 10 or 15 different like game design principles, and you're just creating like a variation of that. So it's just one of those things that people don't realize when, and I agree with you, David. It's just like people don't realize that it is so hard to make an original game or anything original.
Oh yeah, totally.
So it's just so hard, and like I
It's so
agree.
difficult, dude.
So it's just people are just being picky. That's what it is. It's just people being picky. So
Yeah, we're
it
talking
is
about
what it
2019 Batman Arkham Asylum, or sorry, 2009 and 2018. And they look, they rightfully took some of those elements that true, like those game elements which are great. And look, it's so hard to reinvent the wheel. This is why Hideo Kojima is so profound,
so
and people
good.
like him
So
because
good.
he makes blockbuster games that people like to play. But he every single time from my experiences, breaks and reinvents the wheel. And it's like, I've never played a game like this yet. This game is fun. That's why people. He's kind of become like I would say Hideo Kojima has kind of become the Christopher Nolan of gaming. People, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
my favorite director is Hideo Kojima. Like, oh, he's gonna like have this certain format, and you got to play it in the way he intended it. And you got to do this and that, and like, and yeah, it's because look, he's true to what he believes in, and he keeps it consistent, and he makes the games he wants to make, and he always does something crazy that's like no one else is doing. And people are like, oh, it's a walking simulator, but why is it winning awards, and why are people playing it? Like, there's a reason. There's
Exactly.
a reason that he is who he is, and he has an ego behind him, but there's a reason for that too. And so, like,
Dude.
the fact of the matter
Yeah.
is, not everyone can do that. There is a system. PlayStation 2 had it down packed. PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
there's so many games, and that the reason that because that system started to be developed by that point. PlayStation 1 was pretty much the test, and then PS2 came out, and people started to understand this is what make games fun. Nintendo had it down packed years ago, and they've stuck to it.
Yeah.
Nintendo knows
You
the
know-
system. No one's being like, yo, the last Mario did. Think about this. No one is saying, yo, the new Mario world doesn't reinvent the wheel. You know why? You know why no one's being like, yo, Mario didn't reinvent the wheel? Because it's Mario. And Mario's
It's
fun all
Mario.
the time. Mario's always
Yeah.
fun. Mario might add another element to it that's different. They always add some sort of part, like different, weapon base, or like a different type of like interacting with the world, whether it be the hat or whether it be, some other way that Mario, he's always doing something magical, right? With the shroom. So it's like, I get that, but that's like bare minimum. Bare minimum, they change it up. That's not a complaint. Mario just is fantastic every single time. The system works and people do it. The fact I saw a leaked gameplay from Wolverine where you were chasing someone at nighttime, and behind the character you're chasing has a red line. In those old games, you have to like follow the red line to know where you're going.
Yeah.
People were like complaining, being like, yo, we're not kids anymore. We know we don't have to follow the rubber band or the red line, etc. I'm like, guys, are we just picking things to complain about? I never
I
complained
guess
about
so.
the red line when I was a kid. I didn't
No.
think the red line helped me that much when I was a kid, but I never complained about
No.
it. It was just a part of the game that was like, it's a game, guys. What are we so
Yeah.
mad about? It's a video game.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, when
Be
I was
fun.
a kid, I always loved guides, man. I always loved like little hints and stuff to help me out and stuff because then I could beat the game quicker that way. So
100%. Yeah.
it's just like the sayings like find things to criticize, and I think people take that too literally, so they'll find like minute details to criticize instead of like broad things to criticize, like story or characters. Now they're criticizing, oh, this character this character's hair looks like kind of weird, and like the animations on all these characters' hairs look really weird. And I don't like how it gives you a hint every 5 seconds. I don't like how it gives you a hint every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
And I guarantee you, there's a setting where you can turn that off.
probably.
I
And
guarantee
even
you,
if there's not, it's a video game. Like it's a
it's
video
a
game,
video
guys. Like,
game. Yeah.
games are fun. They're supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be like. Yes, I respect people who reinvent the wheel every single time. Sometimes you just want a fun game.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you want. That's in the end of the day, you just want a fun game.
I want to go
so.
I want to go, like, Nintendo is great because they reinvent the wheel with their Zelda games. They use that as kind of their playground. Let's do something crazy. Let's make you can build your own way of transporting yourself throughout the game, right? That's what Zelda
Yeah.
does. But then with Mario, they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna, by the way, we're just gonna throw you Mario into a different galaxy. You got to do, actually, matter of fact, Mario, you got to fight Bowser every single time. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
like, you got to do something with Bowser every single time and save a princess. It's the gameplay to get from point A to point B that's the same, and it's fun every single time. Every single time.
Yeah.
No one complains about it because no one complains about Nintendo because they've just been making fun games and people know what to expect. For some reason, out of PlayStation, people are like, yo, why can't I not enter the world? Why can't I wish I could interdimensionally enter the Wolverine world and be Wolverine.
World.
It's like,
yeah, that's impossible. Oh my god, that would be VR. So
and even
that
with
would be
even
VR.
with VR, people were like, why do we have this in VR? Then when we go to VR, people are upset about the VR because it's like the VR is not immersive enough. It's like,
People
bro,
can't be happy.
we can't be
That's
happy.
what it
Go
is.
Play Wolverine, have a good time. You get to play Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah, and X-Men. There's Jean Grey, and supposedly there's
Yes.
other X-Men in this game.
You know
so
that they're
I'm
going to have
pumped for
hints.
that.
It's in the same world as the Spider-Man, so you know there's going to be so many hints, Marvel hints, etc. Like, could you imagine if we get to see some of the, by the end of the game, we get to meet Professor X or something? You guys would go bonkers. Just enjoy the game and stop worrying about red lines. Come on.
Yeah, like
I
seriously.
feel like I'm mad
no
all the
red
time on
lines.
this channel, but it's like I'm so tired of people being so picky about games.
Dude, same man, same.
In
It's
September, I'm
just
picking it up and I'm
childish.
having a good time.
Oh, same here, man. I'm same here. I'm doing it for the channel, dude. I'm
Facts.
doing it for
You should.
Chan Gibby. So
Good.
That's
By the
what
way,
I'm
go
doing
check
it
out Chan
for.
Gibby, guys. It's a great YouTube channel. Chandler's playing games on there all the time. He's hilarious too. Go check him out. How exactly do you spell it?
it's Chan CHAN and then Gibby GIBBY, and it's one word. It's Chan Gibby.
Chan Gibby,
So-
baby. Go check it out. Also, before we wrap up this episode, this is funny. I was just like doing this auction thing and I fell in this Wii Celebrity Showdown, which I think is cool. I'm just gonna add it to my like collectors or my collection because it's got, this is like, when's the last, first of all, Wii. I'm about to get a Wii. I really want a Wii. I haven't played one in a while. I'm about to go get one. But they got Paul Pierce, Christine Yamagata, Fergie,
Yamagata.
Keith Urban, Avril Lavigne, and Sugar Ray Leonard on here, bro. This is Celebrity Sports Showdown, bro, on the Wii. Who has this, bro? That's fire.
It's been forever since I've heard of Sugar Lane. Is that his name? Or
Leonard.
Lee?
They also got Nelly Furtado, bro. I'm
Nelly
like a bird,
Furtado.
I wanna fly away.
Oh my
Reggie Bush,
God.
Mia Hamm, like there's tons of people in here actually. Like, I wonder if Diddy's in here.
He might, dude. He might. Oh my God.
That's super crazy that we used to have. We don't even get games like this anymore. When's the last time
No,
a
we don't.
celebrity
And-
game came out?
Dude, like we remember the Burger King games?
Oh, of course.
They were at Burger
kind of
King.
good.
They were fire. And I was like, wow, like these games are so good. And like, they were kind of like Grand Theft Auto E, like a little bit. Like one of them was like, I was just like, this is awesome. And one was like Crazy Taxi. And I'm like, these games are fire, dude. See, those are the unique games that we are not getting anymore. And you mentioned
No.
the PS2 in the episode. And you know how many unique games we got from the PS2? A fuck ton.
It was
We
so
got a
new.
fuck-
It was so new. Like the gaming industry is still new, but like it was even newer then. And so people were just shooting everything out. Pause.
Yep.
They were just like,
Yep.
yo, like here's a game about celebrities. Yo, here's like, I mean, think about I played so many weird games on the PS2, dude.
Same. The PS2, the GameCube, like the Xbox 360 even had some weird games.
What's the weirdest game you played on the PS2?
Man,
there's a lot. I know it's hard because my mom used to just pick up random like cheap games from GameStop and like or wherever she got them, and I remember just playing them, being like, "Oh, this is cool," and beating them, and then that's it. Like I don't even remember a lot of them. I just have images. I will say it's funny. One of the weirder games that I played on the PS2 was actually Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
Because
you put that? Wow.
Well, I put weird because it was new, and it's actually kind of odd. If you really think about the premise of Kingdom Hearts, it's kind of odd. I mean, it's obviously a fantastic series, but Disney partnered with a team and then just like made this extremely deep, profound, very sad,
complicated story.
Definitely Japan. Like you could tell, it's definitely Japanese, like at its core, and it's like super, super weird. Like keyblades, worlds. You get this. There's this, and it's also extremely sad. Like like Disney did this, by the way. This is not. We're not talking about current Disney. We're talking Disney back then, which is like the current Disney is just like milk everything, make a bunch of money. Back then, it was like Disney was still, hey, we have heart in everything we make, and they just like and so they just kind of like, yo, here's this right. They just here's this game that's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you cry along the way. And I remember playing that game as a kid, being like, oh.
Dude, the ending of that game, bro, like it gives you goosebumps and it's sad too.
Away. Yeah, bro. It's like, and they separate, and it's like, I'll come back for you.
No, Kyrie.
Yeah, bro.
No.
Like what? What? I thought I was playing as Donald Duck, bro. What happened,
dude? you know the story about how they originally talked about the game, like how Disney and Square Enix got. So the story is like they were on an elevator at like some like I think it was Square Enix that Disney like representatives were on an elevator at that building, or it might have been like a building for Disney in Tokyo. I could be wrong either or, but they were both in the same elevator, and they pretty much like made small talk, and they started talking about making video games for Disney, and that's how it actually got started originally, and then it kind of just like continued to develop from there. And then you had Tetsuya Nomura, who had an idea for a game, and like apparently at some point like he was approached being like, hey, how do you feel about mixing Final Fantasy characters, because there are Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, like Cloud, Sid, Tifa, Era, they're all Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, and mixing them with like Hercules, Aladdin, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy,
Ariel,
Geppetto, like Peter Pan, like he was like, yeah, sure,
Peter Pan, and that's how sucks, by the way.
Dude, the Peter Pan word was ass. It was
Neverland
a ship,
sucks.
And it was the London Tower. That's all it was.
Yes.
It was ass, dude. Like we got cheated, dog.
Yes,
we
yes.
got cheated.
That and Alice in Wonderland are like some of the most frustrating. Worlds.
Dude. Tarzan was awful. Tarzan.
I don't remember much about Tarzan. There's some pretty bad worlds. Is Tarzan 2D?
No. So Tarzan was in the jungle, and he had to like fly around and stuff. Like it was so messed up. It was so like mechanically messed up because it was so hard to like land on like those like pads and stuff. So you always had to like you remember. Yeah, dude. Okay. Tarzan was bad too. Alice in Wonderland was bad, but and I would even say like, all the level, like I would even say like the Little Mermaid was kind of challenging because you had to swim.
Yeah, I hated that. There was a lot of good worlds though. I'm trying to think what my favorite was. What's the I'm blinking right now. The town.
Traveler's Town. I did like that.
I always liked just being in Traveler's Town. That was just like, it
and
felt
the music, good. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. It felt good. It felt like I was at Universal Studios, honestly, like an Epic or like something like, felt like a Harry Potter type vibe. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's the episode. We had to cut it short today. I have raccoons in my attic that I have to get out, funny enough, so I'm gonna go deal with that. Hopefully they show up soon, and so I can deal with that. But Yeah, we're
Crazy
gonna
story,
just remember
guys.
we're gonna be
Crazy
here back
story.
on August 20. We're gonna be back before then, but we're gonna also just know that we're coming on August 27th to talk about the GTA 6 exclusive showcase on Netflix. Whether we are live streaming it or not, we don't know what the crackdown is on that. Right now, we know that we're not allowed to, but apparently 6 hours after we are. So we're gonna hold off. Check out that. See if we can check it out live. If not, check it out later and talk about it live. It's gonna be a long one. We're super dedicated to. I mean, everyone's excited to listen to this and see what's up. So, anyways, that much more coming up on Split Screen Gamers. And until next time,